Hey everybody, and welcome back to Average at Best. As always, I'm Rob here from the Sunshine State of Florida,
And
and
I'm Josh from the not so sunshine state of Ohio. Today we are going to be going over the previous semifinal matches that just happened this past Sunday. We're just going to go over what happened, go over how kind of crazy it was, to be honest, and yeah, just go from there. So
yeah,
Rob,
so
the first match with Troop versus Prather, what were your thoughts on that?
obviously, if you guys had watched our previous video where we made our predictions, we did predict that if Troop won the first game, he was probably going to win the whole thing. I don't think we really expected Prather throwing a strong ball like around 15 to 20 to affect the
Yeah,
lanes as much as it did. But I mean, gosh, the lanes got absolutely destroyed because
yeah,
the the players are bowling on a short pattern. So when you're throwing urethane, it stretches that pattern down the lane, which allows players to move in and they have hold. Because Prather threw a strong ball left, he just destroyed that pattern and made it so there was no hold left. Actually, to the right, there was hold. So if you missed the ball right, it never hooked. If you missed the ball in, then it just ran away Brooklyn. So the lanes just broke down terribly.
and this probably contributed to the match between AJ and Tommy, which we'll get to in a little bit. But yeah, I saw that Prather was playing a lot straighter, which I mean, I assumed he was going to because of the fact that it was fresh shot. But to see him throwing that strong of a ball that early on was pretty interesting to me. Obviously, Troop, did his thing. He did just regular pitch black urethane, and he was able to get into a very comfortable spot early on, and he was able to pretty much outright beat uh, Chris Prather, and he just pretty much had no chance.
The thing is, both games, Prather did have a chance to, I think,
Yeah,
double in the 10th, both games, but the lanes were so tricky that he either spared or opened on both of them. I think if Prather if he threw urethane for the first game, probably he would have had a better chance.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
because the second game would have broken down a lot more nice, and
A
he
lot
might have been
nicer.
able to win the second. Yeah, a lot nicer. I really was surprised that he threw a strong ball, and it completely destroyed the playability of the lanes. I mean, the lanes were really tight, and you had to be almost dead perfect every time to have any chance. So,
Yeah. Chris was seeming to get those good hits. He was seeming to get those breaks and whatnot, especially that one break that he got where he tripped what was it, the 3-4 or the 3-6-9, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He also missed the head pin once, and he backdoored like the one
Yeah,
two.
and he backdoored the one too. I was like, man, this guy's getting every break he can, but he just can't like string them together enough.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it was very interesting to see, how it really went. And I'm
Also,
happy for my boy Troop because I was rooting for him from the beginning. So
well, also I found it was interesting. Troop threw urethane for both games on the right lane, but on
yeah,
the left lane he switched to a reactive, so that made the difference between the two lanes exaggerated even more for
exactly.
AJ and Tommy's match, which we'll go ahead and be diving into now. This was the much more interesting match because
This
it
was
seemed like
just
nobody wanted to win.
this was just a crazy match where I was just like, why in the world can't somebody just spare and like outright take this match over? It's like, first of all, I was surprised because Tommy Jones actually was throwing reactive. He wasn't throwing urethane.
Mm.
So I was like, oh wow, okay, that's a bit different, but you know, he was doing fine. He started missing like 4 pins and 7 pins and whatnot, and I was just like, man, are you okay? And then AJ would do the same, and I'd be like, what? What's
Yeah,
going on
I
here?
I think between two games, the both of them, they had I think six missed makeable, what you would call a makeable spare, whether it's a single pin or a 3 pin spare. You know,
Yeah,
I to see professionals bowling that badly, um, my gosh, and really honestly, Tommy didn't really win that match. AJ lost that match
Yeah, it
because
was more of a just like somebody didn't win. The other person just lost completely. Like you
yeah,
didn't really outright win. You just kind of were there, basically.
yeah, and I mean, AJ switched to the Venom Shock and in the second game, and it was rolling good. The only problem was he really had to throw it right and trust it right. And in the 10th frame, or not in the 10th frame, in the roll off, I think if he got that ball maybe a half board right, he probably strikes and doubles and then puts
Yeah.
some pressure on Tommy. But if you don't get that ball far enough right, it's just too strong. Because again, they're bowling on a shorter pattern, and there wasn't that urethane hold that we talked about would be there.
Yeah, because not a lot. Because I mean, Troop was the only guy playing urethane that that entire day. Like it was just
Mm,
Troop, and I mean, he won his match pretty quickly, and so he didn't really have a time to really affect the lanes too much. I mean, he affected the lanes, but the fact that the other three were playing reactive just kind of did not help anybody's case who was throwing reactive. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
well, and I mean, the fact that the last game didn't even have a 200 game.
oh my gosh,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, what it was 160 to like 170 or something like that
Yeah, it was like
AJ
one, I
won
think
the
it was like
last game.
180, 160 or something. It was
Yeah,
just
so
not pretty, not pretty at all.
yeah, to see the professionals struggle like that definitely adds it adds a comfortable depth to know that they're human just like us,
Yeah,
because we all have
they're
games
not
where
out
we
here,
struggle.
yeah, they're not out here like striking, every single game, every single time they come up. They have their
Mhm.
moments where they struggle and they don't do as well. So it's
Yeah,
really nice
especially
to
with
see that.
the lack of focus on single pins. Like we all have moments where we just can't hit them, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It feels like that pin is so tiny down there, and you're just like, why can't I hit it? So to be able to watch the pros really struggle was, you know, I don't know if I would call it so much that I enjoyed it, but it was nice to see, not just a strike fest, but they had to really grind out their scores, you know.
Exactly. And I mean,
So,
nobody wants to see that type of thing, but like it's good to know that, they're humans and things
mm,
are gonna happen. So,
especially when the lanes get tough. I mean, it happens. Sometimes the lanes are just unbearably hard,
exactly.
and even for the professionals. So, but yeah, now we have Tommy versus Troop
Yeah,
coming up next weekend, and we'll
Troop
have to be
Yeah, Troop is the defending champion, so this will be very, very interesting to watch. So yeah, like we'll cover what we think's gonna happen in the finals match in another video coming up later this week. But yeah, for right now, I mean, this semifinals match was pretty interesting to watch at times, and then kind of sad to watch at times. Is like, why can't anybody spare? But yeah,
yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we'll be back with another predictions video for the finals,
yeah,
but yeah, that's all we have for today. So, thank you all for the support. As always, we love to see it on the channel. Thank you so much. Seriously.
we wholeheartedly thank every single one of you that has clicked on the video, click subscribe, all that good stuff. So if you guys can just continue that support, we would absolutely love that. So go ahead and click the subscribe button down below, click the like, click the share, all that good stuff. But yeah, for right now, me and Rob are going to say goodbye. This peace out is going to be slightly delayed, I'm sure, but I
Yeah.
guess we'll give it a shot. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yep.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.